Good morning, everybody. The meeting of the House Environmental Committee will now come to order. Andrew, will you call the roll?
Vitale,
Present.
Brown,
Designation.
Fleming,
Designation.
Hohenstein,
Designation.
Isaacson,
Designation.
Kazim,
Designation.
Otten,
Here.
Pieli,
Designation.
Rivera,
Here.
Salisbury,
Designation.
Siegel, Steele,
Designation.
Takak,
Designation.
Webster,
Here.
Rader,
Here.
Bashline,
Designation.
Day,
Designation.
Flick, James,
Designation.
Mahaffey, Pugh,
Designation.
Schmidt,
Designation.
Schaefer,
Designation.
Stender,
Designation. Oh, no, he's here. Never mind. He just was slow.
Twarzik,
Here.
Wentling.
Okay, a quorum being present, we're ready to proceed. Nikki, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance.
Okay, we have two items on the agenda today, but before we begin, Chair Rader, do you have any opening thoughts or remarks?
No, I do not have any thoughts, but thank you.
Okay. If you do get some, let me know. Okay, so the chair calls up House Resolution 192, printer's number 1377 by Rep. Hill Evans. Andrew, could you read a summary of the resolution? Or no, let's just let it go. Okay.
House Resolution 192 designates the week of June 8th through June 14th, 2025 as Chesapeake Bay Awareness Week in Pennsylvania.
Okay, the question is, will the committee report House Resolution 192, printer's number 1377? Is there any discussion?
Yes, if I may, Chairman.
Oh, fire away.
Thank you. So I'm on the Chesapeake Bay Commission with Rep. Hill Evans, and we just spent a couple of days in D.C. talking about stormwater management. So I'm happy to support her with this bill. I know she's not here to speak for it personally, but those of us on the Chesapeake Bay Commission do appreciate this resolution coming forth.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Do you want to, is there any objections? Thank you.
I don't think there are any negatives as far as I know. Ask that question if there are.
Okay, are there any negative votes on this resolution? Seeing none. Okay, the resolution passes unanimously and will be reported to the House. Thank you. Next item, the chair calls up House Bill 1233, printer's number 1370 by Rep. Siegel. The question is, will the committee report House Resolution 1233? Before we begin, Rep. Siegel, would you like to make some remarks on your bill?
Yeah. Thank you, Chairman. I'll be very brief. For record, this is the same legislation that we had passed out of this committee last year, which have ultimately moved to the House floor and did pass with bipartisan support. HB 1123 creates, I think, a very common sense, bipartisan solution towards how we can responsibly dispose of lithium-ion batteries. As it stands now, there really is no codified, centralized way to responsibly dispose of these batteries. And what winds up happening is all too often consumers dispose of them by putting them into the traditional waste system. So they'll throw them in their trash can. And those lithium-ion batteries end up in recycling and trash facilities. And As it happened a few years ago in York, PA, there was a destructive and devastating fire at a Penn Waste facility that cost $30 million in damage, actually wound up injuring 2 firefighters who were minorly injured in the blaze, and put in danger dozens of employees who were obviously present in the facility when this battery caught fire. I think this bill is a win for public safety. It's supported by fire officials across the Commonwealth because they recognize that these batteries have the potential to cause devastating infernos, whether it be in fire trucks that are carrying these batteries as they move their way through the waste system, in the facilities themselves, when they're being processed, or potentially even in landfills. And those fires, I will add, burn much hotter than your traditional residential home fire. These batteries are very difficult to put out, and as stated in this Penn Waste facility, they put our public safety professionals in danger. When these fires take root, the infernos take a lot of resources and water to put out, and frankly, they put folks in jeopardy of potentially being victims of those fires. More importantly, I think this is a win for conservation, not only because it keeps these batteries from ending up in the traditional waste system and the chemicals leaching out, but it also allows us to recycle those materials properly and put them back into use for future battery manufacturing. As it stands now, if we don't recover a lot of those materials, we'll have to then go out and mine the exact same materials all over again to produce more batteries. And so obviously that mining process can be extraordinarily destructive. There's a lot of rare earth metals that go into these batteries, and that's a very intensive process with significant environmental ramifications. So this bill also includes language that creates a campaign of public education so that we can inform consumers about the availability of these battery stewardship organizations, which I'll add are set up by the manufacturers themselves at no cost to the Commonwealth. So it's not every day that we can invest in environmental stewardship and not have to expend taxpayer resources. This is something that will be driven by the private sector for the public good. And it will also allow us to make sure that consumers are well aware of the dangers that these batteries pose and the availability of these battery stewardship organizations. So I'll urge my colleagues to support, as they did last year, and get this bill to the House floor.
Great, thank you for your great work on the bill. Does staff have anything to add to an explanation of this? Go ahead.
Sure. So this is House Bill 1233, creates a stewardship program for safe disposal of portable and medium format batteries up to 25 pounds.
Okay, further discussion. Chair Rader.
Thank you, Chairman. I think it's important to recycle these batteries, and I would be in favor of a bill to do so, just not this bill. I have a number of questions about what's in the bill, surprisingly enough.
Very good.
Giving DEP control concerns about costs and ideas that may get out of hand by big government. That's always a concern of mine. And it doesn't allow for independent collection and management of batteries by recyclers who are already doing that job. So I don't think we want to take the rights away from them. I'd rather see public and private sectors work together to craft a bill that might be favorable for both to accomplish the goals. I'm concerned about costs to consumers because I don't see any guidelines or guardrails for recycling or relabeling costs. You know, they could spiral out of control because there's nothing here to kind of stop that. I'm also concerned about the per violation cost, $2,500 per violation. That seems kind of heavy, and that just seems a little excessive to me. So I think there are ways we can accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. I would love to see something that would have a little bit more bipartisan support and maybe talk to some of the people who are concerned about the bill, and I would love to see something come of that. So, thank you.
Okay. Further discussion. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. And I do appreciate the maker of the bill. I think that this is an issue that we are seeing throughout the state. I think that when we talk, I think everybody here can pull up a lithium-ion battery video on YouTube and see just something as simple as a knife going through there, the fire and the destruction that causes. However, I do have some concerns about that we're not giving enough opportunity to the small businesses in Pennsylvania that are already doing some recycling, and we're not including them into this legislation. I will also point out that as we talk about the first responders and the people who are coming to typically put out these type of fires. Although we're recovering some fines and fees, none of the money is going back to those groups to help purchase the expensive Class B foam that they're typically using for these type of fires. In another committee, I think in the coming weeks, we're going to outlaw a type of Class B foam that is readily available now, and that is something that a lot of our volunteer fire companies need some support in from other stakeholders. And I think although the idea is a really good one, I think there's some other groups and some other pieces to this that we can maybe fix to get some more bipartisan support on this legislation. So thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Further discussion? Okay, those in favor of reporting this bill as committed will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no. Andrew, could you call the roll?
Vitale,
Aye.
Brown,
Designation aye.
Fleming,
Designation aye.
Hohenstein,
Designation aye.
Isaacson,
Designation aye.
Kazim,
Designation aye.
Otten, Pieli,
Designation aye.
Rivera, Salisbury,
Designation aye.
Siegel, Steele,
Designation aye.
Takak,
Designation aye.
Webster,
Aye.
Rader,
No.
Bashline,
Designation no.
Day,
Designation no.
Flick, James,
Designation no.
Mahaffey, Pugh,
Designation no.
Schmidt,
Designation no.
Schaefer,
Designation no.
Stender, Torzik,
No.
Wentling,
Okay, the bill passes and will be reported out to the House. That concludes our agenda. Chair Rader, do you have anything further to add? Okay, very good. This meeting then is adjourned.